Good night, this is Fumi's Sleepy Time Stories. Tonight's bedtime story is about to begin.
Once upon a time, there was a poor shepherd boy who had lost his parents. The local authorities placed him in the home of a wealthy man, who agreed to feed and raise him until he came of age. But both the man and his wife were cruel and greedy, thinking only of how to guard their riches. If anyone so much as touched a crumb of their bread, they would fly into a terrible rage. No matter how hard the poor boy worked, he was given only scraps to eat. And yet he suffered beatings and scoldings, day after day. One day, he was sent to watch over a hen and her brood of chicks, but the hen slipped through a hole in the hedge with her chicks, and just then, an eagle swooped down and carried the mother hen away into the sky. The boy shouted at the top of his lungs, "Thief! Thief! Scoundrel!" But what good did it do? An eagle never lets go once it's caught its prey. The rich man came running when he heard the noise. When he saw the hen was gone, he became furious and beat the boy so severely that the child couldn't get out of bed for 2 days. From then on, the boy had to take care of the chicks without their mother, which was much harder, as they would run off in all directions. So, trying to be clever, he tied them all together with a piece of string so the eagle couldn't snatch any of them away. But this turned out to be a terrible mistake. Over the next 2 days, he ran himself ragged chasing after the struggling chicks. Tired and starving, he fell fast asleep. That was when the eagle returned, seized the entire bundle of chicks, and perched on a tree to feast on them. Just then, the rich man happened to come home. When he saw what had happened, his rage boiled over. He beat the boy so harshly that the child had to lie in bed for days and couldn't even lift a finger. When at last the boy could walk again, the rich man said, "You useless brat, you'll never make a shepherd. Go run errands for me instead." So, he sent the boy to deliver a basket of grapes and a letter to the judge. On the way, the boy grew terribly hungry and thirsty. He looked at the luscious grapes in the basket and couldn't resist. He ate 2 bunches. When he arrived, the judge read the letter, then counted the grapes. "Why are there 2 bunches missing?" he asked. The boy, honest as ever, confessed that he had eaten them because he was too hungry and thirsty to bear it. The judge wrote a letter back to the rich man and asked for the same number of grapes. Once again, the boy was told to deliver the basket with the letter. And once again, he grew so hungry and thirsty that he ate 2 more bunches of grapes. But this time, he thought he had a clever idea. Before eating, he took the letter out of the basket and hid it under a rock, then sat on the rock. Surely now the letter couldn't see him stealing the grapes. Still, the judge asked once more, "Why are there 2 bunches missing?" "Ah," cried the boy in astonishment. "How could you know? That letter couldn't possibly have told you. I hid it under a rock before I ate the grapes." The boy was so foolish and innocent that the judge couldn't help but smile. Later, the judge wrote a letter to the rich man, instructing him to treat the boy kindly. He was not to lack food or clothing, and he must be taught right from wrong. "I'll teach him right from wrong soon enough," the cold-hearted man said. "If you want to eat, you must work, and if you make a mistake, I'll teach you with my stick." The next day, the man gave the boy a grueling task. He had to cut 2 bundles of dry straw into feed for the horses. "I'll be back at 5 o'clock, the man threatened. "And if you're not finished by then, I'll beat you till you can't stand." He and his wife and maid went off to the annual fair, leaving the boy only a small piece of bread. The boy sat on a bench and began working as hard as he could. Soon he grew warm and took off his little coat, tossing it onto the straw. But he was in such a hurry, working without pause, that he didn't notice. He had chopped up the coat along with the straw. By the time he realized what had happened, it was too late. The coat was ruined beyond repair. "Ah!" he cried. "It's all over now. That wicked man wasn't joking. When he sees this, he'll punish me so badly I'd rather be dead." He remembered overhearing the rich man's wife once say, "There's a jar of poison under my bed." She had only said it to scare off greedy people, but in truth, the jar was filled with honey. Thinking it over, the boy crawled under the bed, found the jar, and drank every drop of the honey. "I don't understand," he murmured. "People say death is bitter, but this tastes so sweet. No wonder the rich man's wife always wants to die." Then he sat on a chair and waited for death to come. But instead of weakening, he felt stronger, revived in fact. That couldn't have been poison, he thought. But I do remember the rich man once saying he had a bottle of poison for killing flies. That must be real poison. That one will surely do the trick. Only that bottle wasn't poison either. It was Hungarian brandy. The boy took it and drank it all in one go, convinced that this time death would come for sure. "I must be dying now," he said. "I'll go find a grave to lie in." He stumbled to the graveyard behind the church and found a freshly dug grave. He lay down in it and slowly felt all his senses slipping away. Nearby, a wedding feast was being held at an inn. Cheerful music floated through the air, and the boy, in his haze, thought he had already reached heaven. Before long, he lost all feeling completely. The poor child never woke again. The hot liquor and the chill of night stole his life away. From that moment on, he lay still in the grave. When the rich man heard the boy had died, fear seized his heart. He dreaded being brought to trial. His mind was heavy with guilt and anxiety, and before long he fainted dead away. His wife had been cooking a pot of oil over the fire. Hearing the commotion, she rushed to check on her husband, but the oil overflowed into the flames, and the whole house burst into flames and burned to the ground in an instant. From that day on, the wicked couple lived in poverty and misery, never free from the heavy weight of their guilty conscience.